All right. Do I guess this would be a early summer, late spring, even though it's basically the end of March, 1st of April. Yeah, so this would be kind of for Texas, this would be kind of almost late spring, I suppose, because it's already getting in the 90s. Anyway, these are peppers. These are a type of, I've heard them under a lot of different names. I've heard them called lunchbox peppers. Um, all sweet. They called like sweet candy or something like that. Anyway, they're our local grocery store. I like the peppers, so I save seeds, and these are seeds from those peppers from our local grocery store. So those are free seeds. All of those peppers. They did really good last year, so I saved more seeds for this year. Celery with the shade cloth on it because it's just already getting so hot. Onions, kind of in their peak right now, getting going. These are peppers I literally planted yesterday. 2 rows. This is a mix of there's some jalapeno, some giant jalapeno, some banana peppers, a couple of red bell peppers, and some like poblanos and stuff that were just like straggler peppers. There's even a plant right there that I kept alive from last year in a little pot in the greenhouse that went in here. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. Might be a jalapeno, it might be a bell pepper, I don't know. I cleared out spinach. This was all spinach just yesterday. It was spinach. I got my little tiny tiller. It's one of them little 2-stroke tillers that only tills. It only goes about that deep, but it's good enough to like take out some spinach plants and kind of till them under. Then you kind of hit them with a rake, with a garden rake, and kind of clean it up and level it all out. Turn it over with a digging fork. Loosen it all up, and that way you're not really tilling. You kind of are, but you're kind of not. You're not tilling deep. You're not really hitting worms and too many critters down in the dirt whenever you do it that way. But anyway, I had spinach right here too. And these onions were kind of sprinkled in with the spinach. Well, the spinach all come out. I pulled it all out by hand because I couldn't really get the tiller in there or do any of that stuff. But when I got done, I popped in some eggplants kind of here and there. And these onions will slowly come out over time. And that over there, I told you the celery. That's some garlic that's, cabbage that's wrapping up. You can go over there and check it out. I mean, it's not huge. We had bigger pieces from the earlier bunch. The heat's kind of gotten to this, but it's not bad. There's probably some in here that are, I don't know. Hell, there might be a, 6-8 pounder in there. Some of them are small. Some of them, there was more of them here. They started bolting, and then when I started pulling the bolting ones out, these kind of swelled up. So that's good. That's a dinosaur kale that is bolting. That's what I say. We're very early spring, but this bolting's going crazy on everything, even kale. But that was my last seeds. This one come up of my last seeds of this variety. So I am letting her go, and I'm going to get the seeds out of it, and I'm going to have more seeds for next time around. So here's a straight cabbage. See, that cabbage actually come all the way from here all the way back, and this was just kind of in there, kind of mixed in with them. But it's a gigantic parsley plant. That's a type of chard. This kind of burned up because we had some cold weather, believe it or not. It's crazy. Had a frost, a bad frost. It's cucumbers on my little fence trellis here. I planted some lettuces along the outside on these outside drip lines. Maybe we'll get another little harvest of some lettuce before it gets too hot. But you see that onion right there? He's getting pretty fat on the base down there. He's getting pretty big. It's garlic. Pretty good bed of garlic there. This was some leeks that haven't really gotten real big, but leeks have a very long season. This was a different type of onion that were called white Spanish onions or something like that. But anyway, that's it for that bed. Now I got a couple of things in pots here. That's a kale and a nice looking tomato. And the story with this tomato in the pot here, that tomato plant, you see the size of it, you see the blooms on it. I mean, I had 35 to 40 of those planted. All of those peppers I showed you on that round bed over there, and all of these peppers right here, these were all tomato plants before the freeze come in. I tried to cover them with 5-gallon buckets. A couple of them I managed to save, but you can see how thick the stem is. It's just got, you know, they'll come back. A few of them. These were Roma tomatoes. And this is the last of the Romas I had. I planted all of them. I had like almost 40 of them in these beds, in these round beds that were trampolines that I covered with wood chip, cut holes in them, and basically made a round garden bed here. Got some irrigation on it coming off my faucet right there. But I had to pull most of the tomatoes out to make room for peppers, which I got more peppers in here. And these are more of those lunchbox peppers. They sold good at the market, and I really like them. So they make good chili powder, like mild chili powder. They get good dark red, and then you get some yellow ones and some orange ones. They're bright colored. They sell well. They catch people's eye, you know. But anyway, that tomato plant over there in that pot, we got to see Mama Kitty. I hear you, Mama. Got to see old fat Mama. She don't miss meals around here. Anyway, they all look like this. They would have all looked like this tomato right here. I would be stringing trellises of all kinds on that stuff right now if those tomatoes are still there. But, you know, they just got their ass kicked. It's the way it is. Sometimes we got to... It wasn't necessarily a freak storm. It was freak being that it actually got into the 20s in mid-March instead of just kind of hitting a light freeze, you know, maybe down to 30. I think you had to get down to the 20s to kill tomatoes underneath 5-gallon buckets. So, you can see got some more starts in the greenhouse. Bunch of lettuces and stuff left over. There's a bunch of tomatillos. I'll show you some of my tomatillos I got planted. Oh, Mama Kitty. Cut it out. Some basil. Even got little bees in here pollinating my tomatillos. That's some more tomatoes. There's more little peppers that are just a little too small to go in yet. Now that one there's not. He could go in. And, you know, there's some bigger tomatoes. These were... what do they call them? Suckers that I cut off and just stuck them in some dirt to have a few extra of my beefsteaks that I have on a trellis over here. Those are hot. Purple cayennes and more celeries. I might sell this right here at the farmer's market this weekend. See if anybody will buy it. Sell a few herbs in a plant or two. There's another sucker right there that I got in some dirt going. You know, might as well do it. You got a sucker. I'm already pulling suckers off stuff. These are just raised beds. This one here is potatoes. And this is a purple broccoli that just, it's so huge and healthy, but it's just not making heads. Like I said, it's already getting hot. This is cilantro that's bolted, but it's good at attracting, you know, your pollinators and stuff. I'll show you some other stuff that's great pollinator attractor that I never realized until today. This was kind of a catch-all. It's got some dill and some arugula. This is probably going to be the last of the arugula because we're getting into the 90s. Like I say, this will bolt. This will go to the market this weekend, and that's going to be it. Leeks, more leeks. I literally just pulled up some bolted cilantro. This was all cilantro right here that was this tall, and it was all bolted. I pulled it out of there, and I put some radishes. Little better radishes right there. These are potatoes that I forgot to cover, so it killed them back, but they have sprouted back up in the past couple of weeks since we had our hard frost. Another big parsley. Squashes, crooknecks, I think. Some crooknecks and some green squash or zucchini. More potatoes. These were covered with a fleece, so they were protected a little better. So of course they look better than these over here that I totally forgot about when the freeze come. And these were potatoes here too that were covered, and these look the best. I mean, that's like a tomato bush right there. It's insane. That's more cilantro. It's bolting. There's some back there that's kind of shaded that's not bolting that you could still get some good cilantro off of. I'm a fan of cilantro because I'm a fan of tacos and all that good shit. Pico de gallo. Kind of a catch-all bed. This was carrots that come in kind of thin. They're not so thick down here, but as you get further that way, they get thinner and thinner. So I put a little bit of lettuce and a little bit of this and that in there. Some radicchio, and there might be an arugula or two in there. Just salad greens. This is hot peppers. Purple cayennes down there, and then some Anaheims and some, hell, what were these down here? Sorrentos? They were hot peppers. I didn't mark them. I don't know, I'll know when they start making peppers. This is probably going to be the last of my turnips. There's a couple of lettuces in there too, and even a bok choy, it looks like. There's a few more carrots down there. Another big parsley, another big parsley. Parsley does good all winter, so I mean, it just looks great. Once it warmed up, it all got real dark green. Like, it gets watered well because I got soakers on this, and then I hit it with a little fertilizer every now and then, a little Miracle-Gro, and it just, man, it greens up. There's a kale, but this is, so there's one that you can see. The rest of them are kind of small. Those are crookneck squash. Got to plant low stuff here because of the panels. I can't have tomatoes or okra or shit like that in front of my solar panels because I got to plant low down stuff. This is mustard greens. Beautiful, beautiful mustard greens. I'm going to eat some of these tonight. These are called Japanese spinach mustard. And there's a few insects getting these and a few yellow leaves. But they're recovering from that frost too. They're not looking bad though. It's called like komatsu spinach. Is what they call it in Japan, I believe. It's komatsu, maybe. Some chard. Another little greenhouse. It's just, there's some more bell pepper. Eggplants. There's a wasp buzzing around, of course. More little parsleys another little thing of parsleys back there that I'll sell at the market. A few more tomato plants. That looks like another tomatillo back there hiding, and there's some thyme. Some more of that chard. That was, oh, what's that shit called? Starts with a C. Can't think of it now. It's a salad green. I can't think of it. Some more of those white onions, those Spanish white onions. A few little patch of carrots here. This is my beautiful row of beets right here that I've been slowly thinning, taking a little to the market, but this coming market I think is going to be the mother load of beets because a lot of these have sized up now. So this weekend is going to be, we're going to be hitting it hard with the beets. This is all cherry and grape tomatoes. There's like 5 cherries, 5 grapes, cherries, grapes, cherries, grapes. Yellow, red, kind of stagger them back and forth. I don't know how many plants that is, but it's a bunch. And I got them set up with this Florida weave. Right now I got the bamboo stakes on them because it's kind of breezy. If we had a shower come through, a thunderstorm or something, it could lay them over. So put the bamboo stakes on them, put a little clip on them. And then as they get a little bigger, you string, you use twine, and go from post to post to post, and you kind of weave. The Florida weave, and it holds all the tomatoes up, and they can get good and 5 foot tall or more. Tomatillos, a little patch of them here, 5 of them. A couple of straight tomatoes here. More potatoes that are coming back from the frost. These were almost burnt completely back, which you can see right here. You see that plant right there. It was burnt completely up, but now it's coming back. Same with that one there. These did have a cover on them, but it didn't protect them quite as good as the hoops over there did, but it did protect them some. But they're coming back. They'll still make some potatoes. This was Radocchio. More spinach, more mustard. I mean, there's a mustard right there that's bolting. This will probably be what I'll pick tonight. I'm going to have me some mustard tonight. Another patch of garlic. Some nice looking carrots that'll be going to the market this weekend. Those are ready to go. Just some stuff in some pots. Just, you know, Radocchio, kale, a dill, a cilantro that's trying to bolt. That's my last bed of carrots for the spring right there. They have sprouted. I had burlap on them. I just pulled the burlap off yesterday. They're teeny tiny. You got to keep them damp. You know, they're there. They're teeny tiny. There they are. They're coming up pretty good, pretty thick. This right here is a lettuce. Some more carrots down there. And this is the stuff here that I was talking about that just attracts the pollinators. Yeah, this is some carrots here and some lettuce mix. Some radishes that didn't come up too good. There's some pretty good carrots in there. This arugula that is bolted attracts these bumblebees like nobody's business. I mean, they're everywhere on it. Everywhere. And here's some in some pots over here. I don't see as many out here right now, which the wind kind of got up since earlier. Well, they're coming back now. I was out here earlier mowing around the beds, and it was like a cloud out here of these bumblebees. And they fight each other. You know, they're a type of hornet, I believe, some kind of wood hornet. They look menacing, but I've never had one sting me. They'll buzz around you and then they'll chase each other. I mean, they're crazier than hell. But here's my tomatoes on trellis on my post with a steel cable between them, hanging on the wire. And these here were called Homestead. They were just some extra tomatoes. These are the first ones I put in right after the frost, but these are all beefsteaks here that are they've been pruned a little bit so they grow tall and thin like this up the string, and then you can lower and lean the string. There was a couple of Cherokee purples right there, and these were a couple of something. I think they were Abe Lincolns. This tomatillos, more tomatillos. That one there's puny. I think it's dying. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. These are all tomatillos, some leftover scraggly onions. These big hickory trees right here block the sun, which comes in handy later into the summer. You tend to be able to grow some tomatoes down here pretty good because that shade comes over about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shades them. So they get enough sun to grow, but it's not so much it burns them up when it's 100 degrees. So if you plant a pretty heat-tolerant variety down there, you can get some more, which I find that cherry tomatoes tend to be kind of tolerant. Or I should say like grape tomatoes. I use some Thai, they're called Thai pink grape tomatoes. I grow them during the hot part of the summer because they don't give a shit about the heat. They just keep going. They just keep producing all summer long. These are peppers that were saved through the winter and retransplanted. I think they're mostly bell peppers. Some more leeks. A little patch of lettuce and some bok choy in there that's getting ate up. And there's one right there that's bolted. It's so goddamn hot, man. It's just unreal. Some kale. And then that over there is an asparagus patch. There's my compost bins back there. I just mowed today, so they got a good dose of some green grass on them with a few leaves and this and that, so they'll be kicking ass. That compost pile will be heating up big time the next few days. But that's pretty much it. There's probably some more, you know, on my storm shelter out there. I planted some stray melons or pumpkin seeds that come up beside my compost pile. I just stuck them in there on top of the storm shelter just to see what they'll do. You know, there's a little patch of them. I don't know if you can see them out there. I'll zoom her in. Kind of next to the little turbine right there. There's a little patch and they're growing. I threw a little fertilizer on there. I water them. I want to see if I can't get melons to grow all over that sumbitch, because I don't like weed eating and mowing on top of that. It's a pain in the ass to push a mower up it. I'd rather it just be covered with melon vines. or something, you know. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So far, pests haven't been too bad. I've been seeing some aphids on my lettuce and stuff like that, but they haven't been real terrible. They've been kind of here and there, hit and miss. I had some kale, some red Russian kale that just got infested with aphids, though. I just pulled it all up, got rid of it. It was just insane what it had, how many aphids were on it. They were just infested it, so I got it out of there. I'm real surprised because I've been seeing the caterpillar, the green worms, man, and there's some holes. Look, there's aphids on that. See those aphids? Yeah. So we're getting aphids on some of this cold crop kind of stuff, which is, you know, mild weather type stuff. The aphids tend to get after it. I don't know what's wrong with that leaf. That might be some of that black rot or black, oh, it's a fungal, a viral thing that's in your soil. That kind of looks like what that is. And I know we have it here. It usually doesn't get bad until the temperatures get warmer, the soil temperature, and I think it kind of gets going. And I think that's what that is on that one plant. But they're getting ate up with goddamn aphids anyway, so. And there's not a damn broccoli anywhere to be seen, which is a shame. But I had some on the other side of the yard that made some little bitty ones, about that big. They kind of about the size of a baseball, and that was as big as they got, and they started trying to open up, so I just pulled them all up. Might end up doing the same with these. They call that button head or some kind of shit like that, which is, it's a type of, basically a bolt, you know. It's just hard to grow that stuff here in Texas, and I'm in North Texas, but still, it's hard to grow those cold crops into the spring in North Texas because of the pest and the heat and the thunderstorms and the, you know, all this stuff. You'll go from bone dry to soaking wet, and just all these drastic changes on those type of plants. They just can't handle that. So they will bolt and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and it'll just be a mess. But anyway, that's the garden.